Hey everyone, welcome back to day 2 of our Python series. In the previous video, we learned about variables, data types, and how to print messages in Python. Today, we're going to make our programs interactive. That means they'll talk to the user. We'll learn how to take input from the user, convert it into numbers, and use operators to perform calculations. So, let's get started. In Python, we use a simple function called input to take data from the user. For example, name equals input. Enter your name : space print, hello, comma name. Here, the program asks you to type your name, stores it in a variable, and prints a friendly greeting. Try running it. Python will wait until you type something and press enter. Here's an important point. When you use input, Python takes everything as text, or what we call a string. So even if you type 25, it's stored as text, not a number. That means if you do this, it will give an error, because Python can't add a number to text. To fix that, we use type conversion. If we want to convert text into an integer, we use int. Now it will work perfectly. We can take more than one input in the same program. For example, let's take two numbers and find their sum. This is one of the most common beginner tasks, and it helps you understand how input and variables work together. Now that we can take numbers as input, let's learn how to perform calculations. Python has many operators. They're like mathematical symbols we use to calculate. These are very useful in all programs, from simple math to machine learning. Let's do a few quick practice examples. Let's start with our first example, adding two numbers that the user enters. Here's what's happening. The first line asks the user to enter first number. Whatever they type is stored in the variable a. The int, before input, converts the user's text into a number, because input, by default, gives us a string. We repeat the same for the second number and store it in b. Finally, we use print sum equals a plus b to display the result. So if you type 5 and 10, the output will be sum equals 15. That's how we take inputs and add them together. Next, let's find the remainder when one number is divided by another. In Python, we use the modulus operator, written as the percent sign, %. His line takes the same a and b we entered before and finds a %b, which means the remainder after division. For example, if a equals 10 and b equals 3, then 10 divided by 3 gives quotient 3 and remainder 1, 1. So the output will be remainder equals 1. This operator is very useful in programs where we need to check even or odd numbers, or when dividing items evenly. Now let's do something more fun. Calculate the area of a circle. The formula is simple. Area equals pi times r, that is, pi times radius. We'll use 3.14 as the value of pi. Here, we're asking the user to enter the radius of the circle. We used float instead of int, because radius can have decimal values, like 2.5 centimeters. Then we multiply 3.14 by radius twice and store it in the variable area. Finally, we print the area on the screen. So if the user enters radius 5, the output will be area of circle equals 78.5. Isn't that simple? Just a few lines of code, and Python does the math for us. So let's quickly review what we learned. We can take inputs using input, convert them to numbers using int or float, use operators like plus and % to perform math, apply formulas like area equals 3.14 times r. So input helps us take user input. We use int or float to convert data types. Operators like plus, minus, asterisk, slash, %, double slash, double asterisk help us perform math. That's a strong foundation for the next topic, if-else statements, which help your programs make decisions. So make sure you practice today's examples and join me in day 3 for Python conditions.